Did the Phillies win last night? Spoiler alert. They did. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the greatness from last night's Philadelphia Phillies win behind ace Taijuan Walker. Sixers won last night, too. Is there any way to find goodness in this dreadful season? Maybe I got an idea to find some positive in the darkness. Supposedly the Flyers won, too. You could have fooled me. I didn't even know. And no more Eagles draft news, notes, and opinions as we continue on here. Trending in the AM, we are live. And it's Masters Thursday. Congratulations to Davis Riley for going wire to wire. We're live, taking your thoughts and opinions in 30 seconds. Woo! Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 woo! And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM, right here on the STT Sports Network. We are live, YouTube, Twitter. You know the drill. Wherever you're watching, please like this video, but please head on over to the STT Sports Network YouTube page and hit that subscribe button to those watching on Twitter. And if you're watching on Twitter or on YouTube, it is free. Hit that subscribe button, that share button. Tell one, tell all. Trending in the AM on the STT Sports Network, the #1 morning show in Philadelphia, the only one where your opinions matter. STT Sports Network, standing for setting the trends for what sports talk should be. And we got lots to talk about. The Phillies get a big win behind their ace, Taijuan Walker, last night in Hotlanta. There's some good, there's some bad. There's some things up for discussion with the Phillies. We're going to get into that today. The Sixers win last night. Who cares? But I was trying last night. Not watching the game, but I was just thinking about the show. Is there any way to find light in a dark season that the Sixers have? Maybe. Maybe there's a way. Maybe there's a thread I can pull of positivity with the Sixers. Yes, as Steven says, the Phillies, Sixers, and Flyers all won last night. So even the Flyers won last night. Didn't even know they played. It's Masters Week. That's all that matters. I've got the Masters website up on my side screen, just waiting for one of their channels to go live so I can watch golf while we talk Philadelphia sports. And Philadelphia Eagles bring in another top 30 visit yesterday, or announce another top 30 visit. That is up to 20 players that have come in for pre-draft visits with the Eagles so far. What does that tell us? What are the Eagles going to do in 2 weeks from tonight when the NFL draft starts? We'll find out. We'll talk about it today. But let's get this party going. Good morning, Rick. How are you today? Yes, the Philadelphia Phillies won last night, 4-3 over the Atlanta Braves, making up for the Zach Wheeler loss the night before. Taijuan Walker, our stud starting pitcher, went 4 2/3 shutout innings, gave up 5 hits, walked 3, 5 strikeouts. Obviously not as clean of a game as he had in his first start of the year, but Taijuan Walker kept us in the ball game. Few too many base runners, I get that. And in theory, that's a problem. But Taijuan Walker did do his job last night. I'm in utter shock that Taijuan Walker has now put out 2 games, about 11 innings of baseball, and hasn't given up a run yet. One of the most, we don't even need him the rest of the year. That has to already be one of the most shocking comebacks. Just give him the comeback player of the year award right now with the way he's pitched so far. Now, I don't know how much more we can expect from him, how much longer we can expect him to do this. But I guess it's one of those bright spots to start the season. Anybody else notice how well the Flyers have played since they fired Torts? That's the team sending a big FU to that coach and telling the front office they quit on him. Yeah, I haven't watched. I haven't watched Rick a Flyers game in about a month, so I don't know physically my eye test, but I've seen a lot of tweets, a lot of comments, a lot of social media posts saying this exact same thing, that they're playing well. And maybe this is exactly why they didn't fire Nick Nurse already, the Sixers, because they didn't want to ruin their chance at potentially getting one of their lottery picks. The Flyers are, in theory, hurting their draft stock by winning a few games right now. I get that. The Sixers are pretty much locked solid into the fifth worst record, so they can't get any worse or any better. So them winning a game here now in the last couple of days doesn't really matter too much. But really I thought there was a message being sent when they fired Tortorella that a lot of players were upset that that Tortorella was leaving the Flyers. But their play says something different, I guess. Because if you're upset that he left, you wouldn't think they would all of a sudden start playing harder after he's gone. So that's my Flyers talk for the day. That's all I got Flyers related. Because I'm looking at this Phillies team square in the face after they won last night to get to 8-3 on the season. Another win. A good win against the Braves. And while there's plenty of good or plenty of bad to go around, there's also plenty of good to talk about. Trey Turner got himself going a little bit last night. Max Kepler's continuing to play solid. Bryson Stott got a couple hits last night. Bryce Harper, obviously, monster moonshot home run. That Flyers team loathed Torts. It's weird. Like I'm getting two vibes since Torts fired, and it's tough, man. Mike Malone going to be the next Sixers head coach? I don't know. The question is, why was he fired a week before the playoffs? It's never a good. How do you answer that question in the interview, Rick? Hey, so Mike Malone, you want to be the next head coach of the Philadelphia 76ers? My next question in the interview is, why were you fired from your team a week before the playoffs when your record was 47-32? And his answer to that would determine that. But you could do much worse than that. Saw that yesterday was the third time in history that three Philly sports teams won on the road on the same day. Third time. That's obviously a very rare feat. Big Al, obviously. And honestly, like I said, I didn't even know the Flyers were playing. I've mentally checked out. I gave the Flyers a few months of my life this year. I'm mentally checked out on the Flyers now. Obviously, been mentally checked out on the Sixers for a long time, watching them play at least. But I love how the Sixers are the most FU to the fans of anyone. Like, we've known for a while now that Tyrese Maxey is pretty much done for the year. But the Sixers had to send out a press release last night before the game that they were officially shutting down Maxey for the season because he was trying to ramp up and he re-injured his sprained finger. But don't worry, we expect a full recovery by the next season. Like, there was any world that Tyrese Maxey was going to play the last two games of the season. And if there was a chance, whoever's idea it was to have a chance to play Tyrese Maxey anywhere else this season should be fired into the moon. The optics from that Sixers team is ridiculous. That felt like October baseball yesterday. I don't know if it felt like it felt cold enough outside for October baseball. I'll tell you that. I don't know if the Phillies play like they did yesterday in October, they probably don't win in October, Rick. You can't keep having Alec Bohm struggle at the plate. And this is the big starting topic on the Phillies. What do you do with Alec Bohm? I know it's a marathon. I know it's only 11 games into the season. But Alec Bohm's struggles from last year's playoffs at end of last year, which was supposedly because of the injury to his hand, wrist, whatever it was, has clearly carried over into 2025. But also he is a former All-Star and a guy you need to succeed to win. I'm not sure a benching is the way to fix him. Personally, the fact that Rob Thompson continues to leave him in the 4-hole is shocking. In my opinion, the best bet is you continue to play him and you drop him into the 8-hole. The least pressure position in the entire lineup. That's what I would be doing. But you can't go out there. And his struggles at the plate are definitely affecting his defense. His defense has never been great. It's never going to be great. But he has improved to an extent over the years at defense, at the hot corner. He's become serviceable. But the last two nights I watched, and he just coming up short on a bunch of balls. Just a little late on a bunch of reactions. And you almost start to see him thinking on the field defensively. And when Alec Bohm thinks defensively, that's when bad things happen. So there's a lot of issues with Alec Bohm. And 11 games in the season, I don't know how you bench somebody for 3 games this early in the season. It's just crazy, and I don't know what you do with Alec Bohm. Inmates running the asylum in the NBA, that's why he was fired. Possibly. It's possibly. Today is, I already did it. It's 15, 16. Today was day 18 of calling out Josh Harris till he fires Daryl Morey and Nick Nurse. If the Nuggets can do it, K1, so can the Sixers. Phillies keep finding ways to win when facing adversity. That's playoff-style baseball. That's fair. That's fair. It was not a clean game last night. It's a game they could have lost last night. I still have major concerns, Rick, about the bullpen, and I don't know how you can't have any concerns about the bullpen. The bullpen is a major issue going forward. Rob Thompson's casual nature of fixing or improving or maintaining the bullpen this offseason could be a problem. And where you wait till the trade deadline or at least early July to make big, bold trades, the Phillies might need to start considering already looking around for some kind of bullpen move, whether it's David Robertson, who is supposedly a free agent still, or somebody else. This bullpen is an absolute problem right now. Bohm was terrible the second half, terrible in the playoffs, and now terrible this year. I don't know if he was terrible the whole second half, Anthony. It was definitely the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season. He was pretty bad. He was unplayable. He obviously got benched in that last playoff game, or one of the last playoff games. But man, I don't. You can't completely bench him because A, you don't have a third baseman, an everyday third baseman. B, at his age, you would completely ruin any confidence he's got left, any trade value he's got left as well. So I don't know what you do with Alec Bohm. Personally, I think the best bet is you put him in the 8th spot and say, you're going to play every day still. You're going to play your way out of this problem. You're going to be in the 8 hole every day, no matter how hot you get for 2 or 3 games. You're staying in the 8 hole for the next 4 to 6 weeks until we're 100% set that you fixed your problems. And it's not just Alec Bohm with his swing selection, his pitch selection. I mean, last night I saw Trey Turner, second batter of the game, swing at 2 pitches that bounced in the left-handed batter's box. There's a lot of bad plate discipline still. I know they're walking more and striking out less, but those ugly concerns from last year's plate discipline still are there. Bohm will be fine. It's 11 games in the season. As great as the Braves lineup is, did you tell me their guys were batting under 220? I'm not worried about the batting average. And Alec Bohm's batting average is under 190 now. Not worried about the batting average, Rick. I'm worried about the pitch selection. I'm worried about the plate approach. All right? And it's only 11 games. But if we're going to count last year, I know last year was last year, but he's got the same problems he ended last year with, which means he did nothing to fix those issues. I'm not – how you cannot be worried about Alec Bohm or the bullpen at this point is just too many blinders for me. The Nuggets GM and Malone were fighting all the time. Owner said, okay. That's what you said yesterday, but why would they fire both right before the playoffs? Honestly, if this is true, and you said this yesterday, if this is true, then I want him to be the owner of the Sixers. Because he would have fired everybody by now here. I believe we only have one 4-hole hitter on the team, and he is leading off. Maybe Casty if he's on a heater. Yeah, right now, Schwarber should be the cleanup hitter. But if you're going to lead him in, if you're going to put him in, if you're going to drop Bohm in the order to get the balance you want in a lineup, you kind of have to put Schwarber, I guess, in the leadoff. Schwarber 1, Turner 2, Harper 3, Casty 4, Kepler, JT 5 and 6, Stott 7, Bohm 8, Marsh 9. That's basically where you go with the lineup right now. You mix in Sosa occasionally. It's basically what you got to do right now. I don't know, with Bohm dropped in the order, if you go Turner 1, Harper 2, are you going to go JT 3 or Casty 3? Casty or Kepler 4? Like, drop Bohm struggles affect the lineup construction so much because realistically, it changes everything you do with the lineup. Casty can be a cleanup hitter right now, I guess, because he is playing really good baseball. He's hitting the ball really well. Made a great play defensively last night on a ball that hit off the wall. Not one of his catches last night. There was a ball hit over his head, and the way he played it and got in, holding a player to a single, I think Castellanos, the defensive player, does not get enough credit. A game they could have lost but found ways to win. And it was a good win, and I said that. It was a big win. To get wins when Taijuan Walker starts, it's excellent. It's important. Harper seemed driven last night. Did not want to lose that game. Same great plays and clutch hitting. Made some good scoops on the infield. That throw to second on the bunt was an excellent play from Harper. Quick reaction, didn't hesitate. Scotty tees off at 10:15. I'm there for it, dude. I just watched before the show started, K1. I was watching the honorary starters. I'm all for it. I got the Masters website up on my side screen. I'm just waiting up. We are live on holes 4, 5, and 6. No one's there yet. Davis Riley through one hole, leading the Masters, K1, at even par, just so you know. Patton Kaziri, last place at +1 after one hole. Phils are so October mediocre looking. It's unfortunate news, but that is 100% accurate in my opinion. I really, truly believe that. I do have concern about the bullpen, but I also have confidence they'll add a couple arms. Problem is, so you normally wait to add those arms. You know, I don't know if I want to wait, Rick, at this point. Now, I'll wait to figure out what we do without Bohm or center field. Like, I'll wait to add that starting bat if we need to. But relief pitching, I don't know if I'm waiting. I don't know if you can make a move right now. It's probably too soon for other teams to make trades. But the bullpen is a major problem. Alvarado already looks like he's in midseason form. You don't know what you're going to get from him. Kirkring is good. Strom is good. But outside those top three, there's not one guy I trust in that pen. I don't know what you do there. Bohm is a total 8-hole. Yeah. I see what you did there. What's up, Eric? How you doing? Good morning to the gatekeeper. Glad to see you in the chat this morning. We'll get to Eagles. We'll get to Sixers here in a minute. Guys always end up being the back of their baseball card, and Bohm's baseball card says around 265, 20, and 85. Yeah, I get that. But you can't leave them in the 4-hole to figure it out. That puts a stunt on – that just puts too much pressure on them. Making them battle through it in clutch spots when Bryce Harper's in front of them and you're going to basically just pitch around Harper every time, you got to drop him in the lineup. And it's got to be at least a month. Top of the morning to Eric, to K1, to the whole Core 12. Yeah, I mean, each of the last 2 nights, Mitchie Poo, we've dropped the subscriber. We went from 484 after Tuesday's show to now down to 482. What's up with that? We went from 16 away from 500 to 18 away from 500. That's why, guys, we need a like on this video. We need a subscribe on this video. We need a share button. See these three things right up here? These 3 things need hit at all times. Look, here, I'm the air traffic controller. Click share, click like, and click subscribe. Let's go. I think Sosa should play this weekend at third. I think you could get away. Again, I firmly believe Edmundo Sosa is not an everyday player, but he's red hot right now. So, yes, you should probably find a way to get Edmundo Sosa in the lineup 2 or 3 more times. Maybe 1 more time in the outfield, maybe 2 times at third. I don't even know how I feel about Sosa at third base, but hey, it can't be any worse than Bohm is. I would take that bet. Bohm doesn't get to any of those numbers this year. Maybe batting average, maybe not the home runs this year. Talking baseball in April will keep Phil stuck. Absolutely. I mean, I've got football. I've got we're 2 weeks away from the draft. I know draft week will boom around here. The Sixers season's almost over. So that's that. There's only so many things to talk about, K1. I'm talking Masters. I'm feeling better and better about my Colin Morikawa pick. I added a few first-round leader bets to my card, too. I bet Bobby Mack, first-round leader. I bet Taylor Pendrith and Lucas Glover, all first-round leader bets. I added. The Diddler is serving time for being an a-hole. Yeah, exactly. Ohio State tackle Tyreek Williams is a very solid option at pick 32. His name popped up a bunch yesterday because he had team meetings with different teams. I will say the Eagles did add another player to the number 20 on their player top 30 visits. Let me go back to the notes where I wrote that down. Cornerback Jalen Smith, USC corner, can play inside, can play outside, can play safety. He's a day 3 guy. Surprisingly, tied for the second most of the players. They've brought in 20 players so far. 7 offensive linemen, 4 edge rushers, and 4 cornerbacks. They're the most. They've only brought in 3 defensive tackles out of the first 20 visits. Very shocking, in my opinion, the distribution of the first 20 visits. And it tells me what the Eagles are targeting in the draft, which is a lot of offensive line. They haven't brought in a single linebacker, which is interesting because all they got is Bond, Dean, and Trott in that position. Only 1 safety, considering they got only Reed Blankenship and Sidney Brown. Very surprised at 7 already offensive linemen, but not surprised because that's how he likes. Alvarado perfects the curveball, then it can change things in the playoffs. Yeah. Look, Alvarado, can I just sidetrack for a second with Alvarado? I hate when Rob Thompson brings Alvarado into end an inning, then back in the next inning. I'm shocked that he got out of the 9th inning clean. There's certain relief pitchers that can do that, and certain relief pitchers that I just don't like, and certain relief pitchers that have that closer mentality, like Jose Alvarado, that they get all amped up, they get all fired up, and then you tell them to go sit back down and calm down for 10 minutes, and then go re-amp up again. Alvarado should never be ending an inning and then coming back in. They got lucky that worked out last night. And that 9th inning did get a little shaky. He did put a couple guys on. And he ended up throwing 30 pitches last night. Hate relievers doing that, swing around from one inning to the next. A lot of panic for 11 games. There's no panic. This team is still going to win 92 games this year like I predicted. I mean, it's a little early for a smoke a bowl. I don't wake and bake before work. That's not me. Just so you know. And imagine if they were 3-8. Yeah, I mean, there would be real negativity. If we were 3-8, though, Rick, you'd be saying, relax, it's only 11 games into the season. Because you've got blinders on. You do. Caleb Contham needs to have a talk with Jose and show him the outside part of the plate actually does exist. Yeah, that's true. Minwoo Lee will have a better round than Morikawa. Today, yeah, I didn't say Morikawa was going to be a first-round leader. I have, hold on, let me see. I did 11 DFS lineups. Let me see how many Minwoo Lee got into. Minwoo Lee got into 2 of 11 lineups. So I don't hate. His distance off the tee will be great this week. Especially, they say, I think tomorrow there's supposed to be a little bit of rain, which will lengthen the course a little bit more. Dude, I'm all for it. I can't wait to just have swings on the screen here, on my side screen. I'm going to be just watching shot by shot as we're talking here. Pre-draft visits are often a hard fake, Rick, or a head fake. The Eagles actually do bring in, think about it this way. The Eagles either draft or eventually sign as free agents after a few years, everybody that they bring in. Those pre-draft visits are very key on what Howie Roseman's doing and thinking. Barbara, what's up, my lady? How are you? What's on the agenda today? The Phillies game last night. What to do with Alec Bohm and how do we fix the bullpen? But also Taijuan Walker, how many more starts can we expect him to give us quality effort? We'll always give you the effort, but quality outcomes. That's part 1. Part 2, I haven't even really brought it in. We're 2 games away from the Sixers season ending. And guys, stay tuned. Tomorrow, Sean Bernard will be jumping on at 8:30 to talk Phillies and Sixers with us for about a half hour. We're talking Sixers and how clueless they are that they actually we thought that Tyrese Maxey was going to play until they shut him down officially. But is there any way to draw light from the end of this Sixers season? And then Eagles draft. Where are they going to go in the first round, the second round, the third round? 20 pre-draft visits so far. 7 offensive linemen, 4 edge and cornerbacks, 3 defensive tackles, 1 safety, 1 running back. That's what they've brought in. That's what's on the topics. Plus the Masters. The Masters is teeing off right now. That's why I wrote the comment. I wrote because the Eagles aren't showing other teams their biggest interest. No, I mean, the Eagles do tend to like the guys that they bring in. They don't bring in 30 guys and not draft any of them. Occasionally. Hold on. I did the notes before. Outside of Devontae Smith's year and Andre Dillard's year, every other first-round pick, the Eagles drafted. From the time Howie came out of the broom closet till now, Devontae Smith couldn't be a pre-draft visit because you weren't allowed to with COVID, and Andre Dillard. They're the only 2 times every other first-round pick had a visit in Philadelphia before the first-round pick selection, just so you know. The visits are also valuable intel on players going to rival clubs. There's that as well, for sure. At some point, if not already, hitters may start eliminating the outside half of the plate with Jose. That is a possibility, too. It's the same philosophy where a pitcher just throws away to Nick Castellanos or doesn't throw a first pitch strike to Alec Bohm. Baseball players pick up on those trends very quickly and very easily, Nooms. And it's going to be an issue potentially. How many good starts do you need from Walker to feel confident? I don't think I would ever feel confident. He could be 15-0 in October, and I would still not feel confident. Been burned one too many times there. But if he gives us 2 or 3 more good starts, it gives you the opportunity maybe to put Ranger Suarez in the bullpen, which I think would be better for his career anyway. Might help our bullpen Ranger out there. If you get his confidence up, Taijuan Walker, maybe Taijuan Walker becomes a bullpen piece at this season. I think Ranger Suarez would be better fit in the bullpen, but that's just me. Sixers have been unwatchable this year, honestly. Oh, absolutely. I haven't watched the Sixers game in ages, Barb, but I still keep up with it. And the one piece of light I could find at the end of the tunnel with the Sixers is that the season's almost over. And that maybe they hit rock bottom enough that even Josh Harris, who could care less about the Sixers, have the Sixers hit rock bottom enough where even Josh Harris might care a little bit and make the right decision and fire Daryl Morey and Nick Nurse. This is my favorite golf week of the year. This is better than March Madness to me. This is better than everything to me. All right, we got somebody on the 4th hole, par 3. Hold on, I gotta maximize the screen here. We actually got people here. This is first shot that I'm seeing of the Masters here. Look at this. We got 179 on this par 3, number 4. Nice, easy swing. Let's see who this is and where he puts it. He went flag hunting and almost holed out for the hole-in-one. How about that first shot that I watched? A near hole-out ace. The first shot of the Masters I watched. Oh, this is going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day. I don't even know who that guy is that just took that shot. Man, love it. Cut Marsh at this point. Yeah, I mean, I would love to cut Marsh, honestly. I'm over Brandon Marsh, and I was a huge fan of his, Barbara, when we first got him. I thought there was potential there. I thought he could be a leadoff hitter for us, for sure. The problem probably why they haven't cut him yet is, I mean, they did leverage a future piece in Logan Uhapi for him. So they're probably trying to get something out of him. And there is potential there. But he's not playable every day. Should the Phillies finish with a better record with the Cubs? The Phillies are going to finish with 92 wins. I don't know how many wins the Cubs are going to have, though. Phil, how would you like being the amateur player in the group with Scotty and Justin Thomas? Dude, my nerves would be shot. But if I actually was an amateur that really thought I was Pat Kaziri that stuck it within 3 feet, I'd be taking notes. I don't care about my finish. I'd just be taking notes on how they act, how they perform, how they read greens, their mental approach. I'd be studying it like crazy. Yeah. Teams are allowed up to 30 visits. Most teams use at least half of them. The Eagles tend to use most of them, if not all of them. The Eagles are at 20 picks or player visits so far. And again, like I said, since Howie's come back from the broom closet, he drafts the people he visits with, especially in the first round. Always. So you get a story. Not all the guys he's brought in so far have first round grades. Let me double check here. Guys that have first round grades that he brought in, that's a day 2, day 3. You got I don't even know how to say this guy's name. Azaruka, Boston College edge rusher. He could be a late first rounder, maybe. Maxwell Harrison could late first round, maybe. From a cornerback there, day 2. Josh Connerly, tackle from Oregon. He could be a late first round guy, maybe. Let's see who else is a late first round, maybe grade on them. Maybe the edge from Texas A&M, maybe could be a late day 1. So they've brought in a few guys that they could draft. But it seems like edge, offensive line, and cornerback are where they are. And I'm looking at the Eagles' depth chart at this point. And I'm a little bit more concerned about the depth. The starters are going to be great. The depth at a couple positions does concern me. I saw a little girl hit a putt right into the hole yesterday at the family day. It's funny, Barbara. It's technically not a family day. It's the par 3 contest. So the thing is with the par 3 contest of the Masters, if you don't know this, is that there's a prize for winning it. But there's also a quote-unquote, superstition. Nobody's ever won the Masters par 3 contest and then gone on to win the Masters. So most players purposely get disqualified by letting their kids or wives hit one of their shots. Then they finish the round, but they're disqualified for it. That's why they do that. I don't know. Those that K1 knows a little bit about my golf stuff. He knows. Few people know I'm an Aaron Rye guy. Aaron Rye had his wife hit a tee shot yesterday on one of the shots. She stuck it within like 3 feet of the cup. She had very good form. Nobody even knew that Aaron Rye was even married. It was kind of funny. But yeah, that's why the kids hit the putts and stuff like that. They want to get disqualified so they have no chance of winning because they believe in that jinx. Josiah Stewart is such a great fit. I've seen him mocked a few times. I've seen him mocked to the Eagles a few times, in multiple spots. Absolutely. Phil is an Aaron Rodgers guy. I am not an Aaron Rodgers guy. I am the furthest thing from an Aaron Rodgers guy, Mitchie Poo. Not even remotely close. Davis Riley with a par there on hole number 4. First hole that I'm watching here. Pat Kaziri's got 3 feet 2 inches for birdie. You gotta love that. I love the Masters. There's no greater tournament in the world than the Masters. There just isn't. I just love it. I just can't wait till some of the feature groups start teeing off and I can watch real. I don't want to watch Pat Kaziri. I want to watch Colin. I want to watch Scotty. I want to watch Rory. I can't wait. I'm pumped up. I won't lie. I'm distracted today. Like, when the Masters is on, the Masters is number 1. What if Aaron Rodgers was in the Masters? I would bet him to miss the cut. That's it. I wouldn't watch his holes. What happened was Hart wearing for what the F was Hart wearing for his post game interview? I didn't stay awake for the post game. I don't watch the post game interviews all the time. What was he wearing? No clue because I didn't watch it. But yeah, I'm such a competitor. If I could golf, I'd attempt to break that jinx. That's funny. Like, some people don't even want to try to break that jinx. And a couple not big name, but a couple golfers that would probably thought that they had a chance. Have tried and won it and then failed. Brandon Marsh, unkept hairstyle is annoying. Makes me think he's careless about baseball too. Well, he is, I guess, a little bit. So, can we just get Brandon Marsh and Alec Bohm haircuts? We're supposed to be doing away with the daycare, right? We don't want the daycare around anymore, right? Even Bryce Harper said they're not the daycare anymore. And so let's not just eliminate the nickname. Let's make them get big boy haircuts. Let's make them grow up a little bit. Make them wash their hair more than once a week. I don't know if Marsh's hair annoys me more or Bohm's hair annoys me more. I don't know. The thing is, like, Brandon Marsh is struggling for the Phillies. So is Alec Bohm. It seems to mentally bother Alec Bohm so much more than Brandon Marsh. Like, I don't see Brandon Marsh getting frustrated like Alec Bohm. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Does Alec Bohm care too much, and that's why he gets frustrated? Does Brandon Marsh not care enough, and that's why he doesn't get frustrated? Like, the two different personalities between those two guys in those situations is interesting. Yeah, Bohm, nobody's that young anymore. Phillies are one of the oldest teams in baseball, Barb. Bohm is 29. Marsh is 27, I think. Stott's, I think, 25 or 26, so still fairly young. But Bohm ain't no daycare. Bohm's a babysitter now. Well, he needs to be babysat. Alec Bohm, I don't know if I've seen in recent time a guy as frustrated at the plate as Alec Bohm has been since the end of last year. And there's no excuse with the injury anymore. Hole number 5, 495, par 4, dogleg left. Pat Kaziri, after making his first birdie, slices the living hell out of the tee shot into the woods. That's going to be trouble for Pat Kaziri right there on hole number 5. Considering it only carried 275, too, into the woods. No way he's getting to the green in 2. Delusional righteous Eagles fans need to grow up. Delusional righteous Phillies fans do, too. For sure. Never a good sign when your playing partner shanks it into the woods. There's no daycare on this old-ass team. Absolutely. If the daycare that we need is for all their kids because they're all old enough to have kids now, basically. I want to see what Davis Riley follows up that shank into the woods with here on hole number 5. I don't think I've ever done a watch-along for golf before. Unfortunately, it's Davis Riley and Pat Kaziri, and not somebody good. That was piped right down the middle. Uh-oh. Leaking towards that bunker in the fairway. Is it going to clear the bunker? Nope, right into that bunker. That fairway bunker on number 5 is brutal. I like that Sandman said Marsh doesn't love baseball. I missed that part of it. Oh, he doesn't care about it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I want you to be frustrated when you're struggling, don't you? But also, you want them to keep a level head. I don't know. Yeah, I know Stott has a kid already. I mean, that doesn't say anything. I mean, you can have a kid at any age, really. Davis Riley, through 4 holes, still leads the Masters. How about that? Dude, this is my Christmas morning. This is the first round of the Masters to me, Big Al, is more exciting than Thursday, first day of March Madness. To Sunday, the final round, is like the national championship game. It's like the Super Bowl, all rolled into one. There's nothing like the Masters. There's also no golf event. You know I'm a degenerate golf gambler. There's no golf event that I enjoy more. Even like if I don't have a winner picked, if none of my lineups on fantasy golf are going to cash, I don't care. I'm still glued to the TV right to the final. Normal golf tournaments, if my picks aren't contending, I sort of tune out a little bit. But the Masters, I will watch every shot that's on TV on Sunday. Every one of them. Who's the best pro athlete golfer? I think it might be former hockey player Dan Quinn. Oh, okay, I get the question. John Smoltz is very good. Tony Romo was very good. There was one of the old Cardinals pitchers was very good. Which Cardinals pitcher was it? Was it Carpenter? One of the Cardinals pitchers was very good. Tony Romo, John Smoltz, both very good golfers. Steph Curry is actually a very good golfer as well. Baseball players in general, out of all athletes, are the best golfers. Jake Elliott's actually a very good golfer as well. On Philly radio and TV, they were dissing the Dodgers for their White House visit, but when the Eagles do it, it's great. We're not going to get into that political angle of things there, Barbara. We don't talk politics here. That's a big no-no. Only thing that annoys me more than Marsh's hair is Rojas letting fly balls drop in front of him. Does he speak a different version of Spanish than Sosa? I don't know. Did wife say you weren't allowed to wear green jacket to bed? Oh, I forgot to put the green jacket on today. The green jacket's still there. Forgot to put it on. It's just a very uncomfortable jacket to wear. So I kind of forgot about it. But it's still there. It's still behind me. It's there. Pat Kaziri's looking at the trouble he's in from behind the trees. Down on his hands and knees looking. You're not watching what Pat Kaziri's doing. He's literally on his hands and knees looking at his golf ball. It's pretty damn funny. But it's adorable. I'm glad you find it adorable that I'm watching golf while I'm supposed to be talking to you guys. Watching golf while I'm supposed to be building the algorithm. Watching golf when we're losing subscribers instead of gaining subscribers. Hey, it is what it is. Nicholas Højgaard's 0-3 over. Oh, my God. Poor guy. Poor guy. Oh, that's no fun. It's got to be so demoralizing to live up, get your first moment, and then just come crashing down instantly. That's why it's so hard at Augusta National, especially when you've never played here before. Why were people blaming Sosa for Rojas's boneheaded play? I don't know. Sosa shouldn't be blamed for anything in the outfield bar, period, considering he's never played in the outfield till like 2 minutes ago. They're literally just throwing him to the Wolves just to get his bat in the lineup. And I give him credit for giving it a shot. But I'm not in any way, shape, or form going to blame him for anything that happens in the outfield. I would give him a few more opportunities in the outfield to see what's up with that. I would absolutely give him those chances. But rule of baseball outfield, you only talk when the ball is in the air. If you want the ball, saying you ain't going to work. Is that what happened? Gotcha. But again, it's an experience thing. He is trying to hit this ball down the fairway out of this spot. Give Pat Kaziri all the credit in the world for even trying this shot. Who the hell knows what's going to happen with this ball? Literally. I hope he doesn't get poison ivy from where he's standing. He's trying. That's the problem with these hole-by-hole things. You're seeing literally everything that these golfers are going through. The Masters Golf app is website is the greatest thing. Like, the greatest thing in the world. I love it. Sorry to distract from this. But yeah, Sosa. He makes a mistake like that. I can't yell at him. You can teach him, use it as a teaching moment. But that's about it. That's what you do. Sosa might have called it, but center field is the captain of the outfield. Absolutely, center field is the captain of the outfield. Rojas, to me, is not. Good job getting that out. Good job getting that out, Kaziri. Still got a long third shot. Rojas, to me, is not an everyday center fielder. That's Justin Crawford next year. But between Sosa, Marsh, Rojas, they got to figure it out. It's funny that Pat Burrell could play left field decently, but Schwarber can't. Yeah, I prefer to talk about, when we're talking about outfielders, I love talking about Nick Castellanos and how good Nick Castellanos has become of an outfielder. And we talked about this off and on last year, too. I don't think Nick Castellanos gets remotely any credit for what he's capable of doing in right field. That ball he played off the outfield wall last night and held, I forget who got that hit, held that Braves hitter to a single. He played that perfectly. There's not many compliments that ever go around towards Nick Castellanos' defense ability. I mean, I'm not better than Jim Nance. Not at all. But I'm more passionate, maybe. Jim Nance is probably a better golfer than me, too. So the Phillies outfield is a mess, left field and center. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you got to blame Dave Dombrowski for that. I mean, Max Kepler's not a bad left fielder. Max Kepler's not a bad player. I don't have an issue with Max Kepler. But when center field's as bad as it is, Max Kepler needs to be better, if that makes sense. Lonnie Walker and Jeff Doughton actually had led a victory over the Wiz. What is going on with it? Look, I'm glad the Sixers young guys got a win last night. Now that they're locked in to the 5th worst record and can't get any better or worse than that, let them all go out there and ball the next 2 nights. They play on Friday and Sunday, then the season is over. Before, you didn't want them to ball out because you didn't want wins. Now it don't matter if they win or lose. So let's go for it. Let them do what they got to do. Let's see if Lonnie Walker's got anything left. All these people that think these guys are going to be major parts of the Sixers going forward. The only way that Lonnie Walker, nice shot by Pat Kaziri there, or Jeff Doughton, or Quentin Grimes, or Justin Edwards are a part of this team next year is if we're in tank mode and we've traded away all our stars. That's the only way that they're important. Lonnie Walker was rotting away in Europe. Nobody wanted Lonnie Walker. Jeff Doughton's a G Leaguer. But here we go. We got all these people that think all these backups that are putting up buckets for the Sixers are going to be part of the solution moving forward. They're not part of the solution. Barbara only likes Pat Burrell because she thinks, yeah, he had a nice butt, supposedly. It's so weird seeing 17 not say Hoskins on the Phillies. Honestly, I wouldn't even have known that was Kepler's number. Edwards should be here 100%. Why? What did he do earlier this year before the tank was on? Justin Edwards is a nice young player. But if they try to sell us on a bill of goods that they're trying to contend next year, which I fully expect Josh Harris to keep Daryl Morey in place, and, you know, they're going to say, well, we're going to add a tweak here and there, and that's it. And Justin Edwards shouldn't be on this team. Because Justin Edwards isn't ever going to make the team make a run. At least not yet. He's years away from developing into that kind of player. That's just my opinion. Tyler O'Neill and the guy that was on the Mets last year were available for outfield. The Phillies did nothing. Look, the Phillies had a very passive offseason, Barb. We've talked about it a lot. Where's Mr. Aggressive Dave Dombrowski? All we've been told and talked about is that Dave Dombrowski is this aggressive GM that goes out and makes the big, bold moves. He didn't do it this offseason. I can accept, though, the Kepler move. What I can't accept is the bullpen and not making any drastic changes to center field or the bullpen or, you know, whatever. There had to be some kind of a shakeup. Burrow was Scotty Scheffler handsome. Scotty Scheffler's also got that street cred since he was arrested, you know. That's the thing that's special about Scotty Scheffler is he's got street cred. Sandman, I actually do find Pat sexy, but truthfully, he was a good. Pat Burrow's one of the greats. Absolutely. Edwards had some very solid buckets in the clutch when it still mattered. Maybe. Maybe vaguely I remember a few of them. Harrison Bader, I remember his name. Who? 8 likes on this video. There have been upwards of 16, 17 people at a time watching this video. Mitchie Poo, and there's 8 likes. Guys, literally, it's share, it's like, it's subscribe. Those 3 buttons. I mean, literally. How hard is it to hit 3 of those? How hard is it to hit 2 of those? Come on. Like, share, subscribe. I'm doing like the YMCA here. Come on. It's so simple to do, guys. You're watching Trend in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network. So I can't remember what. Like, subscribe, share, do it. Let's go. My wife's best friend nailed Burrow and told us he pissed the bed when he was loaded. Oh, man. I had a friend that worked at a bar that he used to hang out at in Philly, and they used to tell me all the time about how he'd walk in with 2 girls and walk out with 3 different girls, and every single night. Just keep going. Can somebody clip this out for me? Can someone clip out me going, do? It's that easy. Someone clip that out for me. Just keep repeating those hand gestures. Pat the Bat would be tearing the daycare. Some of the daycare might be Pat Burrell's kid for all we know. Honestly, has anyone from the daycare's parents ever visited Philly? Maybe Pat Burrell's one of their kids or dads. Oh, okay, gotcha. Sorry about that. There are a lot of moves the Phillies could have made. They didn't. Now, you know, part of that might be that they're running out of money. I mean, you know, he said stupid money, but look at that. The algorithm. As soon as I started going like this, the algorithm started jumping. All right, we're up to 15 people watching right now. They needed to make bold moves. Problem is they've got a $300 million payroll. So they needed to trade some money away so they could afford it to bring somebody else in. They didn't. They stand pat. And that's the problem, Barbara. And while Rick wants to give us that uber positivity that no matter what, the Phillies are going to win the World Series this year, that don't worry, it's 11 games. Alec Bohm's great. That, Brandon Marsh will be fine. No. I can't blindly have faith in that. Not at all. Catheter Pat, they call it. Yeah. Oh, we're up to 9 likes because doing this got me 1 extra like. Let's go. Get my arm workouts. Get my arm workouts here. I mean, it's so easy. You just go like. You just go share. And once that's done, subscribe. I mean, it literally costs you nothing. It's the only free thing you'll do. It won't cost you money. It won't make your stocks drop or go up. It won't do. Hey, just so you know, Hoygaard is now +1 after going back-to-back birdies, K1. Yeah, he went bogey, double bogey, then he went birdie. Just so you know. Nothing was more annoying in 2003 than those ass-out-looking strikeouts on inside pitches. I know exactly where it would go like that. I know exactly what you're talking about. I love the Phillies and Eagles, but I hate homers. Yeah, look, there's a difference between being a homer when there's actual evidence to prove that your team is going to be really good. I'm a realist, Barbara. I realistically told myself the Eagles were good enough to win the Super Bowl, and they did. I'm realistically telling myself that the Phillies aren't going to win the World Series this year. I am. Again, clip this out, Mitchie. Post it everywhere. It's this easy. Clip this out and dub it with YMCA music. Talk about a video right there. If Barbara thinks Pat Burrell's hot, she should have seen me 20. Is that right? Were you a stud muffin there, mister, for a little while? I see. Phil's doing some Illuminati shit. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I just wing it. I fake it till I make it, K1. David Riley with a bogey. Couldn't get out of that bunker. Pat Kaziri. They didn't show what he did on the hole. Who was that? Was that Michael Kim? All right. No, it's Kevin Yu with a par on there. There we go. It was called the barrel curl. The barrel curl. Ugh, that's all he used to do. He used to do that all the time. And it used to piss me off. Something terrible. It really did. Let's see if any of these other screens are available now. Featured groups. No, Masters on the range, and those holes are the only ones available right now. Okay. The fact that there's anything available, and it's free. Johnny Vegas and Michael Kim are your leaders in the clubhouse right now through 4 holes of the Masters. I mean, I've done the YMCA plenty of times. I mean, I know how to do the YMCA, the full line dance of the YMCA. It's a mixture of between the electric slide, the electric stomp, the hustle. Remember, I was a cruise ship entertainer for a while. I've line danced plenty in my day. The hot, the ragga, the boot scoot boogie. Mitchie Poo, I know them all. I don't really choose to do them anymore. I don't want to do them anymore, but I know how to do them all. I used to have to host once a week, 70s night in a nightclub and do all of them. I used to get dressed up as the Village People. We used to do a Village People strip show we would always pick women out of the crowd. We'd always pick the oldest ladies out of the crowd. Done it all. Remember Mitchie Poo, cruise ship entertainer. Been there, done it all. The boot scoop boogie, that one's a country line dance. I know the electric stomp's a country line dance as well. I know all the line dances from every genre of music. I choose not to do it. See, admitting I could do the YMCA and the boot scoop boogie gained me an extra like on this video. How about that? I find it attractive when a man can actually dance. I didn't say I'm a good dancer, Barb. I'm very good at pre-structured dancing, like line dancing. Like I used to sing and dance at musicals when I was younger. But they were like pre-choreographed things. I can't just go out there and just freestyle dance on the dance floor. That is not me. Now, I don't have any shame. I'm willing to do whatever. Hole 6 is playing 189 downhill today. Pat Kaziri's got a 7-iron on the 6th tee here. Can't see where the flag is. I think it's on the right there. He's going dead left, so maybe the flag's over there on the left. It is on the left, but he came up short, missed. There we go. Yeah, I never was much of a dancer. I won't lie. That was never my specialty. But again, line dancing, put a microphone in my hand and some line dance music on, I can get an entire crowd on that dance floor. No problem. My specialty was actually hosting karaoke. So I had no problem making fun of people when they stink on the microphone. That was my go-tos on the cruise ship were hosting karaoke, hosting Caribbean night, hosting the 50-60 sock hop, and well, let's see. Hold on. So it was a 50-60 sock hop, karaoke that. That was pretty good bingo caller, too. I can lead, but you need – I think my wife would be a little disappointed in that. Just so you know. She'd be very jealous. 500 subscribers, and Phil will actually do the Happy Gilmore shot. Sure. Absolutely. I'll go to the driving range and get it done today. I will forego watching part of the Masters today to just do that for you today. Some things are left better not known, Big Al. Just so you know. Some things we don't need to know, Big Al. But, you know, maybe you're just hoping to brag. I don't know if that's the here's a question for the core 12. Is this the flex that Big Al thinks it is? Because I don't think it's a flex. I think Big Al's trying to brag about something that he doesn't realize is not really braggable. Maybe he should keep that quiet. Maybe. It was a short-lived career. Yeah, I can imagine. I don't think it would be a long-lasting career for you. I don't know. He might be. I think he thinks it's cool that he can say that. Little does he know, it's not cool. If you weren't part of the disco scene in the 70s, you can't really appreciate the village people. You need an 8-ball and tight bell-bottom pants. Yeah, it's true. I don't truly appreciate it. That's for sure. And everyone is going left on this whole par 4. Everybody's going left. Everybody. I doubt it was one summer. He might still be doing it. I mean, he did just buy a house. And if you know anything about the housing market, nobody can afford a house, K1. There's got to be a reason he bought a house. My guess is his wife's his pimp, too, probably. Like, you know, she just slaps him around and says, get back out on the street, Big Al. To the left, to the right. No. I just don't do it anymore. I'm too old and lazy to do that kind of stuff anymore. I think I'd hurt a hip or hurt a knee if I tried to line dance the way I used to. There might be some VHS tapes floating around of me line dancing out there somewhere. But, yeah, no. I'm glad that VHS tapes can't be found anymore. Wife totally slaps me. I totally can say it. Totally can say it, Big Al. I've only met her once. But I know. Winning score on Sunday. It's Colin Morikawa at -9. There we go. I just made that -9 up. But I am so locked in on Colin Morikawa, Joe. So locked in. Which means he's going to finish in second place. So, yeah. But, yeah, Colin Morikawa, -9, wins the Masters. I think that's a good number to look for, to shoot for. Although I can actually, the weather's supposed to be nice, mostly dry, not too hot, not too cold. I can see these golfers going pretty low this week. So realistically, I can see a 12 or 14 under winning the Masters. If that's the case, I don't know if it's going to be Colin Morikawa. If it's 12, 14 under, maybe Brooks Koepka goes low or Bryson goes low. But yeah, I got the Masters on this side screen here. We're talking Phillies. We're talking Sixers. We're talking Eagles. We're talking Big Al stripping career. That's what we're talking about right now. But we're also watching the Masters at the same. I put 40 on Colin. Hey, yo, I hope you did. I mean, I only put 20 on him, but, you know, I put so much other money, so much else. That was the max I could put on him. But, yeah, it's a good bet. If you really seriously did that, did you get him when he was still 18 under, or was it low? His number came down, so I'm just curious. What's more likely, Sixers drafting Cooper Flag or Phillies winning the World Series? Phillies winning the World Series is more likely because Cooper Flag is going number 1 overall. And I forget what the exact number is. What is it, 10% likely for the Sixers to get the number one pick? The Sixers don't have that kind of luck. And honestly, I don't want them getting the number one pick. Because if they get the number one pick, then they're not going to fire Daryl Morey. Daryl Morey will get all this credit for drafting Cooper Flagg number one overall. No, I want Daryl Morey. If you're telling me it's Daryl Morey stays and we get Cooper Flagg, or we don't get Cooper Flagg, but we can get rid of Daryl Morey, I'm taking that. Go ahead. What are the odds Jose Maria Olafabo makes the cut? I don't know. I do know I looked up the odds that Scotty Scheffler was 7-1 to miss the cut, and I almost laid a tenner on that. When I was a functional alcoholic, I always said something that got me slapped. Yeah, I've done that a few times as well. 16. I appreciate it. It's not 16 under. It's 16-1. 16 under could be the winning score. That shows how much you know. But yes, 16-1. Hey, 16-1 is a great number for a $40 bet on Colin Morikawa. Now I got him at 18, but I was aggressive with that. Duke and Houston did choke jobs in the tournament filled with bad basketball. I watched so little, Barb. I did watch the first half of the Duke Final Four game just to get to kind of see. Which is more likely, Sixers drafting Cooper Flagg or Phil going to a nice cordial dinner with Daryl Morey? Maybe. What? My bland Masters dinner menu? How dare you? That dinner menu was fire. Okay? Literally, guys, still, all it takes is this. Like, share, subscribe. Come on now. They're firing at pins here today, early in the Masters here. Firing at the pins. Everybody early going off is being uber aggressive today. It's working in some of their favorites, it's not in others. But they are firing at the pins at the Masters, guys. So the Phillies go tonight. What do we got tonight for the Phillies? Tonight's game 3, chance to win another series to start the season. Jesus Luzardo, who's been nothing short of fantastic in his Phillies debut, going up against Spencer Schwellenbach. There's a name for you, Schwellenbach, who's actually been pretty damn stellar, hasn't given up a run yet this season in 2 outings. Are we going to have the pitching duel we thought we were going to have in game 1? Or are we going to have the pitching, or are we going to have a game like last night? What are we going to get tonight? Do the Phillies win? Schwellenbach's a righty. Means Schwarber will be in the leadoff spot. Here's the question for tonight's Phillies game that we're going to ask. Okay? Is Rob Thompson going to have the guts to drop Alec Bohm? Not 1 or 2 spots. Down. I want to see Rob Thompson. I will give him so much credit if when I see the lineup come out tonight and it's got Alec Bohm in it, but in the 8-hole, then I'll say something nice about Rob Thompson. Otherwise, he's got no clue. You're in rare form early. Yeah, everybody's in rare form. The few that are watching are in rare form today. Bazunu tees off at 11:38. How about that? Well, I hope Bazunu, despite me having 0 leverage on him, 0 investment on him, I hope he has a Bazunu kind of a day. K1, I do. I hope he does. Who wouldn't want to see a Bazunu kind of a day? Bohm and JT are black holes in the lineup right now. I mean, we don't really even talk about him, JT, and what the deal is there, what to do there. He's still an excellent defensive catcher, but I don't even know, if where the lineup is, though, and the lineup's obviously producing big picture because we're winning games. But really, there's few guys that are excelling consistently through 11 games. So realistically, based off of that, how do you even build the Phillies lineup? Realistically speaking, how do you do it? Bohm's an 8-hole hitter. JT's a 7-8-hole hitter. Marsh is an 8-9-hole hitter. Rojas is an 8-9-hole hitter. You've only got 3 guys. Schwarber, Harper, and Casty that are truly doing well. Maybe Turner's turned the corner after last night. So maybe there's 4 legit hitters in this Phillies lineup. How do you write it? How do you Rob Thompson, I complain that he's got to do this or that. But, man, let me tell you, his job is so difficult. So difficult to write a lineup that's just so blatantly not that good. If Sosa didn't win those games, the Phillies would be in trouble already. Well, they did, though. And, you can't say if this or if that because those ifs didn't happen. But I get it. Dude, Joe, I mean, some will say Nolan Arenado's too old. Some will say he's too expensive. Some will say he's not as good as Alec Bohm. And I said to all those people in the offseason, because we talked about it, Joe, on this channel, I said to all those people that said all those things about Nolan Arenado, I don't care. Go get him. And they should have gotten him in the offseason. You probably could have traded Bohm and something else and gotten Arenado. And maybe Arenado's not as good as Bohm at this point of his career. He's older. But you know what? Staying the same was not the right answer either. And here we are. Kaziri is tilting her. I mean, bogey, birdie, and a bunch of bogeys. He's not doing that good. That was a mini Jason Kelsey speech right there. Love it. Look, I don't know if it was a mini Jason Kelsey speech. The thing is, I've been able to, the Phillies needed change. Unfortunately, there was no change. So we're going to have the same peaks and valleys and highs and lows, emotional roller coasters again this year because we know what the end results are going to be. Yeah, I mean, he got a taste of that celebrity status there, and he's just not. It's just not. I think they're still together. There were rumors that they had broken up, but from what I've heard, they're still together. I don't know. I mean, good for him being able to lock down a looker like that. K1, and Joe, the only ones that know the one I'm looking at. Aaron Rye's wife. I Google searched who Aaron Rye's wife was yesterday after that video of her surface swinging. And there's no even proof that he's got a wife. So my guess he's got like some mail order bride or something like that. The most private golfer there is. The only funny thing is Aaron Rye's wife does not wear two gloves. And only a few people will get that reference right there. But yeah. Look, I don't know. I wouldn't want Rob. Honestly, like I crap on Rob Thompson all the time. I don't think he's a World Series winning manager. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I'll admit I'm wrong when that happens, if that happens. But honestly, his job is extremely difficult because the pieces he's been given to manage, to lead, are pieces that don't fit together. You got a bad bullpen without a closer. You got a bunch of players in your lineup that don't fit together. It's a tough job on a daily basis to be Rob Thompson. I want to write that down. Tough to be Rob Thompson. That's a tweet. He was at the Super Bowl with her. They are still a couple. So I heard, at some point in the offseason, someone was saying that they weren't seen together much, so they thought they broke up. I don't really worry about that kind of stuff. The celebrity dating scene does nothing for me. Doesn't excite me. I never really get into that kind of stuff. But honestly, coincidentally, since that happened, since they got together, there have been issues with it. Mike Weir hit a terrible shot, but he's just so short. He's so old, he doesn't hit the ball long enough that it could actually be a problem. Zach Johnson in Fuego. I love a good Zach Johnson play, honestly. Højgaard to get it back to even par. And now he walks the putt in. Since you said Nikolai Højgaard was 3 over, he has now gone 3 under since you said that, with 3 straight birdies. All right? The third of which he just walked it into the cup, tapped the ball before it sunk, walked it right in. Phillies had 5 All-Star pitchers last year and didn't win anything. They had 8 All-Stars overall, and hell, they might have 8 All-Stars this year too. They're that good of a team. Still doesn't mean they're going to win anything. This team will do what they always do, and the Phillies team does hit like, they do hit share, and they do hit subscribe. That's all that matters. 7-iron for Zach Johnson from 179. I'd be probably hitting a 4-iron here personally, a high teed up 4-iron. I don't think I can get my 5-iron all the way back there to the flag, even if I smashed it. Right into – he got it over the bunker. I thought it landed in the bunker there. Almost pin eye for Zach Johnson there. Not a bad. Yeah, sometimes you need a double bogey. Sometimes you need 15 double bogeys before you make that one birdie. Hey, it happens. It's happened to the worst of us. Live watching golf, shot by shot. You got to love it. Johnny Vegas saves par, baby. Vegas, baby. Vegas. How about that? Yeah, Zach Johnson's a very unlikable guy. I just always I always love watching the guys that just can't hit the golf ball very far. I can't. I love how the courses are built for these long hitters, and then you get a short hitter like Zach Johnson. He still finds a way around. 7-iron from 179 for Chris Kirk. Let's see what he could do here. Again, I think I'd be hitting a 4. I might actually try my 4 hybrid, which I'm very good at fading. Start at the center green and feint it to the cup here. Get a little bit more height on it. Kirk almost holds it out. People are attacking this 4th pin right now. Did I lose weight? You look slimmer. Well, thank you. I've been trying. I've had some peaks and valleys. You haven't been watching every single day lately, so maybe. I'm down to like 216. Started the year at like 225. So the goal was to lose 25 pounds this year. So I'm like 6 or 7 pounds down. I didn't think I noticed, but I'm trying. Trying to cut back on the alcohol a little bit. Trying to cut back on the sweets a little bit. The soda. Trying. Not successfully all the time. But thank you, Barbara. I appreciate that. My wife's going to get really jealous, Barb. You've told me I look thin, and you've asked me to dip you in a dance. So the wife's going to get very jealous of that one right there. Oh, Joe Highsmith, +2. He was a sleeper. I put him in 1 lineup this week. Thought he could make the cut this week. Not looking too good for him. Puts his tee shot in the bunker. No, short of the bunker. Didn't even get it to the bunker. Anyway, we're coming up to the final 15 minutes of the show, guys. Again, tomorrow, 8:30, half hour into the show, Sean Bernard, Fox the Gambler, picks Sixers Digest, Phillies Locked On. So many things that he does. He'll be on. We will ask him about when we will see the TikTok dances from him. For those that don't know, Sean Bernard said the Sixers missed the playoffs. He would reenact every one of Jarrett McCain's TikToks. So we'll be asking him about that tomorrow. We'll be asking him about the final weekend of the Sixers season. And we'll ask him about the Phillies. Because tomorrow, I want to talk a little Aaron Nola. Because Aaron Nola's getting a lot of hate from John Marks. So, yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Welcome for what? For what? What? Oh, the TikTok. I forgot about the TikTok thing. Yeah. We need a Crawford countdown. What, till Justin Crawford's called up? I think we need an Andrew Painter countdown. We need a fake ad read. No, we do not. Phil has the body of a Greek philosopher. I do not. Not at all. Mike Weir, long second shot on the par 4 here. I love watching the seniors play this when they don't have the distance anymore. He still gets it up there. Look at that. Look at that shot from Mike Weir, former Masters champion. But anyway, we're still talking Sixers. We're still talking Phillies today. Will the Phillies win tonight? Jesus Luzardo on the mound. What will the Phillies lineup look like? And the Eagles. The draft is 2 weeks from today. What is the biggest need in the draft? Is it really edge? They've got 6 bodies there that can play in that rotation. Is it defensive tackle? I think it's safety, but they've only brought in 1 safety. They haven't brought in a single tight end yet for a pre-draft visit. It's just something interesting that I've been thinking about. What these pre-draft visits tell me. I know what a birdie, eagle, and bogey means in golf terms, and I know what bunker means. Talk that course lingo. Did it excite you when I talk that lingo? I love it. Deep tackle, safety, O-line, depth, wide receiver 3. You bring up wide receiver 3, K1, and I threw a tweet out there yesterday. And I mentioned it at the end of the Eagles check down this morning about wide receiver 3. So last year, you draft Aeneas Smith, you draft Johnny Wilson, and then they trade it for Jahan Dotson. So Jahan Dotson is a very good wide receiver, somebody that could start on most other teams. We know how he likes to trade and wheel and deal. Jahan Dotson is entering the last year of his rookie deal. He's young. He's talented. He's making less than $2 million this upcoming season. Is there a scenario where they draft the wide receiver 3 and trade Jahan Dotson this offseason? I mean, if you don't trade him, you either got to sign him to an extension or risk losing him. There's got to be a wide receiver needy team that would see Jahan Dotson and think that maybe he could help our team. Now, I know you won't get what you gave up to get him here. Just a thought I had. If you trim that beard like Don Johnson stubble, you would look even. She likes the beard. She does. She does. But I did trim it up a little bit ago. It's already long again. I do need another trim up. The jacket's here. I kind of actually forgot to put it on. I was running a little behind this morning. I kind of rushed getting set up. Dotson can't work clock worth a damn. And that's what he needs to do here. You meant body of a Greek god, right? Do we need a wide receiver 3? I don't know if we do. I'm just saying that in my mind, there's a scenario where there might be some trade value in Jahan Dotson. Eagles need a safety and D-line. To me, safety should be the top priority. Will it be? I don't know. Right now, what the top visits tell me is that offensive line and edge and cornerback are what they think the top needs are. And I think they do need offensive line help, but more depth, like later round draft picks. At the top of the draft, I'm looking for a defensive tackle or a safety. That would be me. We still have the wide receiver Smith we drafted and Johnny Wilson that we drafted last year. TJ Watt wants out. That's news to me. I haven't heard about that. I'll write it down and look it up after the show. I mean, I'll look that one up. I don't know anything about that one, Marshawn. But guys, still, like we've been doing, the YMCA time. Like, share, subscribe. Final 10 minutes of the show here today, guys. We sure need a wide receiver 3 if we lose Goddard, which means inevitable. I like the way you phrase that. They haven't brought in a single tight end in pre-draft visits yet. Okay. So, Calcaterra, Granson, Bryant, and maybe Goddard. That's what you got at tight end this year at this point. What team is Aaron Rodgers on? He's not on any team right now. Still looks like Pittsburgh or Minnesota have chances. But that's about it. In my scenario, he might as well just not play football. I would love to see him retire and just go away. There's no one I despise more. We already said who's the biggest asshole list. We were trying to come up with the top 10 most biggest assholes in sports. And to me, Aaron Rodgers is number 1. Can't stand that guy. Can't stand that guy. Here I am sitting here complaining about life, and I'm watching a commercial on the Masters here about some 14-year-old that's swinging a golf club better than me, but with one arm. I should never complain about life. People got things so much worse than me. Phillies surprising you. No, the Phillies are exactly who I thought they were. A really good baseball team that are showing the same cracks in their game that cost them in October last year. The Phillies, as I've said, Marshawn, all along, are 162% built to win a lot of games in a 162-game season. They are not built for a best-of-7 series. It's just plain and simple. That's it. And that's the problem with the Phillies. That was a terrible chip shot there from Cam Young. Terrible chip shot. Marshawn, we're also live streaming the Masters right now. We're talking Phillies. We're talking Eagles. We're talking Sixers. We even mentioned some Flyers today. But really, this is a Masters first-round watch party here, basically. Just like with my other account, 14 likes now. Subscribe to the. Hey, thank you very much. Mitchie Poo's the only one out there doing this. Mitchie Poo, clip this out for me and dub it over. Clip that out. Put some YMCA music on and send me that video, and I'll give you credit for that. Whenever I cut my beard like Don Johnson, I get too many catcalls from women. It's embarrassing. I love it. Mets are winning so far with no starting pitching. I don't know how long that will last. Yeah, and look, the Braves are going to be better than what their record says, Barb. In baseball, over 162 games, law of averages balance out. The regular season is pretty meaningless. It's can you get to October, and who's the hottest team in October? The problem is with what the Phillies have, I don't trust that they'll be hot enough to win in October. It's the same old, same old. It's just what it is. But yes, like, share, subscribe. It's that easy, guys. So tomorrow, again, Sean Bernard will be on. And by the way, we talk about all this, what Misty used to be like back in the day and how my wife's going to come after Barb. I'm just kidding. Lane Johnson got engaged to his now fiance, Kelsey. Thought that was pretty cool. Good for him. I think the Braves are in trouble this year. I don't know. I mean, again, I'm not overreacting to be 8-3. I'm also not overreacting to them being whatever they are, 2-8, 3-8. It's a long season. It's early. It's April. We were great in April and May last year until we fell apart in the second half. What your record in is April does not matter. Well, it does matter. But, I mean, it's a long season. That's right. That's all you got to do. It's very simple. Very simple. Very, very simple. Kevin, you for birdie. Can he end his streak of 2 bogeys with a birdie putt here? Get in the cup. Get in the cup. Kevin, you with a fist pump on that birdie putt right there. Are you surprised Vladdy Jr.? We didn't actually talk about this. That's a great thing. Am I surprised? No. I kind of feel like they had to give him a contract. I had to. Barbara, have a great day. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Much appreciate your support, as always. Vladdy Guerrero was a 14-year, it was $500 million. I think it was 14 years because he's 26, and it'll take him till he's 40. Is Vlad Guerrero the third best player in baseball? Because that's what his contract says. Is he? He's had some phenomenal seasons, and he's also had some questionable seasons. He's also, I don't know. That's a tough one. $500 million for Vlad Guerrero Jr. is crazy. 14 years, though, if you're going to give somebody a 14-year contract, you might as well do it when they're 25, 26 years old, which is what they did. So I'm glad, for their sake, I'm glad they did it when he was younger. What impact will tariffs have on Ohtani's gambling addiction? Oh, my God. Aren't the tariffs over now? I don't know. Lane Johnson's career started off rocky in Philly. Kelsey had to tell him to get off the juice. Now he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I love and respect Lane Johnson so much. Not only is he one of the greatest Eagles of all time, not only is he one of the greatest right tackles of all time, but his openness and discussion with his mental health issues and how he's so openly honest about his struggles always rings home true to me. The fact he's so honest about that stuff and so forthright with it has always earned him extra credit in my book. What's the actual reason for the Mavs trading Luka? I mean, it's been 2 months and I'm still confused. I stopped trying to figure that one out. I did. Stop trying to figure that one out. Because I have no clue. No clue why. No clue what happened there. I don't think we'll ever truly know. Maybe in 20 years there'll be an ESPN 30 for 30 on it. And that's when we'll find out. Maybe when he goes into the Hall of Fame someday is when we will find out. But honestly, at this point, I have no clue. And I'm not sure if I ever will. Chris Kirk right towards that right rough on that 4th hole tee shot. Or 5th hole tee shot. Right into the spectators. Do you imagine how life would be different if Ben and Markel never forgot to play basketball? Ben didn't forget how to play basketball. Ben just didn't want to play basketball. Markel forgot. I can't believe that Markel Fultz stayed out of the NBA all year. I really thought he was having a good enough turnaround last couple of years that he would have been on a team this year, but kind of crazy. But yeah, imagine that. I mean, truly imagine if Markel completed the process. Yeah, maybe. Imagine if we run it back with Jimmy Butler. We're entering the last weekend of the season, Marshawn. It's almost over. And hopefully, my whole point, I'll end with this, then we can wrap this show up. I hope that this season was bad enough that even Josh Harris wakes up and realizes something has to be done. The glimmer of hope is that it was so bad that even Josh Harris can't ignore the Sixers. Markelle is Maxey, but on a bigger scale. Can you imagine if we had Markelle and Maxey in the backcourt together? Never had a chance to draft Tatum. Never would have happened. Look at the Lakers, Los Angeles media market compared to Dallas. They connect the dots. Had something to do with that, sure. Process started 2013. We had one elite wing player, and that's Jimmy, not James Butler. Yeah, absolutely. Guys, anyway, with that being said, I want to wrap this up. So I want to get to work so I can get the Masters on TV at the pizza shop. Actually got a very busy day ahead of me at the shop. But everybody, I want to make sure you all have a good day. If you haven't done it already, it's very simple. It's like, it's share, it's subscribe. It should be done. I appreciate it. Did you see that last night the Mavericks fans were giving him a standing ovation? Was it last night or 2 nights ago? His return to Dallas. Like, seriously. Mavericks fans still want him there. It's embarrassing. The Mavericks. I mean, you could be a worse organization than the Sixers. You could be the Mavericks with Luka Doncic. Basically. At least the Mavs have a championship. That's true. That's true. Is he? I don't know about that. Maybe. But I doubt it. Anyway, with that being said, we're going to wrap this up today. We'll be back tomorrow again. Don't forget Sean Bernard on the show tomorrow for about 25, 30 minutes. We'll talk Sixers and Phillies with him. We'll watch more Masters as well, live on the air. And maybe, we'll see. Somebody hinted that I should do a live watch party for the Masters on Sunday. Watching golf is actually pretty fun live on the air. It's a little bit more laid back. We might do a 4-hour final round watch party. If Colin Morikawa is in the final grouping, we are definitely doing a watch party for the Masters. No doubt about it, guys. Anyway, with that being said, everybody have a great Thursday. We'll be back Friday tomorrow. Go Birds. Bubbles up. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 pop.